Alright, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another trade recap video. We took this trade on gold this morning. It is Thursday, January 25th. When we look at our daily bias, we saw that price had come into this bullish daily fair value gap filled at 50%, and then we saw a retracement back up into this bearish daily fair value gap. We actually took a trade on the first time that it tapped up in here down, and then we saw it coming towards that again. So we would then drop it down to the hourly, and let's see, market was like right here. So I mean, we already had this. Technically it's a 4-hour bearish fair value gap, but it's 2 hourly ones. And I'll replay this. So this was at 9 this morning, and so what I'm looking for here is I'm just waiting for a retracement back up into bearish fair value gap, maybe fill at 50%, and then go short. And then I also marked out equilibrium too, because I mean, if price is discounted, then it just gives you more confluence to go short. So as we can see, I marked out equilibrium. If price gets above this, which is the top of the lower fair value gap, then we'd be in a discount price range. And then also what I noticed, I dropped it down to the 15-minute, and I didn't really notice this until we got our big movement up. So I'll let this run for a little bit. So we also had high impact news today. So it was a somewhat risky day to trade. I mean, as you can see, this wick right here on the 15-minute, that's just high impact news. So that was before market open though, and I was just looking at the market, and I mean, if a good trade didn't come, I wasn't gonna force anything. But I saw this, and I liked it. So what we have here is, this was my first time kind of trading like a confluence like this. It was AMD, so accumulation, manipulation, and then distribution. So I saw this on the 15-minute, just consolidation, and that's our accumulation. And then right here with the news, I see our manipulation. So basically, I'm just sitting right here in the manipulation, waiting to find a good entry. And I'll put this on the 1 minute now. And a part of me wanted to, I mean, yeah, I was looking in this first fair value gap, but with knowing that we had the higher hourly bearish fair value gap, I wanted to tap into that, if anything, before going short. But right now, I'm just waiting for a break of structure. I was mainly waiting for a 5-minute break too. That would kind of confirm my bias on everything. And then like a 15-minute, of course, as well. So as we can see here, we never actually tapped into, okay, so I had already entered by here. We never, I'm sorry guys. Okay, so right here, we can see that we never actually tapped into this hourly bearish fair value gap. We just wicked it, got very close. Let me put this on the 1 minute. Okay, so this is going to be our entry where we ended up entering at. As we can see here, I was waiting for a 5-minute break of structure, and we didn't end up getting it. I think this candle closed bullish too. It wasn't until like right after I took the trade that we got the break. And then the 15-minute was down here as well. But I waited for a 1-minute break, and our 1-minute break was right here. And then I'm just looking for fair value gap then. So let this play out for a little bit. And this is where I entered at. So it was a super small 1-minute fair value gap as well. Right here, honestly, the market PA was very choppy this morning, so it was very hard to, I don't know, it was a hard session to trade with the market. So we have a small 1-minute fair value gap right here. I saw price push into it, wicked it fully, and then we had this indecisive bullish doji, And then we got a downwards reaction, and once I saw the good reaction out of it, I ended up entering. So our entry was right here, pretty good entry. And then right at our entry, we also formed another fair value gap that price could go back into. And at this point, we are pushing down to 5-minute break of structure downwards. Also 15-minute, which we ended up breaking. So the trade happened honestly kind of fast because we got our 5-minute break of structure and our 15-minute break of structure right after entering. So it was kind of one of those things where all the confluence lined up at once. We also were in a discount too, which was a big part of my entering because I really wanted to at least push into this fair value gap a little bit and get a good reaction. But we ended up getting the fair value gap, and it was too good not to go short on with that good of a reaction, especially in the discounted equilibrium. And so we went short. I put my stops above the highs. And if we watch this play out, I mean, basically, put it on 3. We just get downwards movement right away. Our TP1 got hit on pretty early. We didn't really sit in drawdown, to be honest. I mean, we had a little bit of a chop filling in that fair value gap around our entry, but I mean that just allowed the Discord and everybody else to fill their orders. And then our TP1 ended up being a 1.29 RR. We also only risked half a percent today, just because it was a high impact news day and didn't want to risk too much. And then our TP3 got hit, and then price edged us right there. Didn't tap it, but we still held our position that we had left. And I mean, after a little bit of reversal, we saw that TP3 ended up getting hit. So in the end, it was like a 2.3 RR play. And I honestly think price keeps on running down because when we're looking at it right here, well, I mean, we're bullish altogether, to be honest. Let me exit out of replay mode. So we have our accumulation right here. We have our manipulation right here. And then right here is our distribution. So I've heard a lot of people talk about the AMD model, and this was my first time actually seeing it like in the market. But I mean, it's obvious though when you see it. Like, this is just chop, chop, chop. That's accumulation. And then the manipulation is this, where we get a big spike up to fill our bearish fair value gaps because the overall market structure is bearish, so price is going to go down. This is where people will try to buy in at, and then we get the reversal for the distribution, and we see price go down after that. So I'm not in the trade anymore, but I definitely see price seeking this liquidity lower. I was going to have another TP like right here, which would have been like a 3.2R, but I normally only do like 2 to 3 RR, and since it being like a high impact news day, I don't want to risk too much, so I just took my profits. But yeah, no, I definitely see price going all the way down to seek this news liquidity. But overall, a very solid trade on the day. And yeah, that's basically all that needs to be said about it. But if we take a trade tomorrow, you guys will see the trade recap. And until next time, guys.